What's going on, y'all? What's going on? All my people in the building. Happy Friday to you. Okay. We up in the building. We are up in the building. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Y'all know how we do up on this channel right here. You know, let me know where you guys are watching from. I see y'all. You know, we got this coldest water. We got a giveaway going on. You can click the link down in the description down below. You guys can also use my code and get 10% off as well. So that'll be flashing while we're up on the screen today. Also, guys, follow me on Instagram and Facebook because we are streaming live to Facebook right now. I see all my people up in the building. Yes, we are up in this thing. We are up in this thing, up in this good jamboree. Okay? Now, we got some things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Shaunie O'Neal. She's speaking out on Basketball Wives. What else are we going to be talking about? We're talking about Marlo Hampton, Shamea Marlo, Porsha Williams. We got some tea for y'all today. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and get things started. We're going to get this party jumping right now with the tea, okay? We got, first things first, we're going to talk about Shamea and Marlo. Now, you guys may recall that on the most recent episode, you know, they kind of sort of went at it, but not really. They didn't really get down into it that bad. You know what I'm saying? But Marlo was questioning, you know, who was in the room with Bolo. And Shamea, you know, she got her girl Porsha's back. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, whoever is so pressed about it is probably the person that might have been in the room with Bolo. So Marlo looked a little shocked. She also confronted Porsha about, you know, the ladies, her feeling like those ladies were taking a step back from her because she had gotten together with that good Kenya Moore, okay, because they had made up. All right. Now, guys, I told you guys my suspicions about, you know, Marlo kind of switching sides a little bit, you know, and this is her right. Absolutely. But, you know, with her doing all this investigating with, you know, who was in the room with Bolo, all of a sudden now that she got back, you know, friends with Kenya Moore, it's kind of like, Marlo, we got to give you a little bit of that good side eye. Not a lot because we know we still love Marlo and her fashions. Okay. But Marlo, it looks like is not taking any of this lying down. Now, I told you guys on the other day. Was it yesterday? It was the other day. One of these 2 days. I can't remember. Everything's running together right now. I told y'all about how on the after show on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, we had Shamea and Drew talking with Porsha about how they felt like Marlo was doing Kenya Moore's dirty work. Okay. So after that tea was spilled, a bunch of other sites picked up Marlo's latest post, like Housewives of ATL, the Peach Report Daily. Shout out to both of those sites. But if you head on over to Marlo's page, you will see, okay, she posted this. Now, Marlo's clapback to this was, she says, the woman I am today won't let me get distracted with nonsense from sidekicks. Okay? She calls, well, listen. She directly called Shamea a sidekick, right? But it's really, everybody kind of know who she's talking about, right? We know who she's talking about. We know she's talking about the sidekick, okay? And in this situation, that would be Shamea Marlo, right? Okay? But I don't know if you guys caught this comment right here. If you look at this, a commenter says, Marlo, I love you. You are the sidekick. Love you, though. So let me ask you guys a question. Who is the ultimate sidekick? Okay? Y'all let me know in the chatterization. I want you guys to let me know in that good chatterization right now. We talking who is the ultimate sidekick on this show. Now listen, being a sidekick, I don't want y'all to get it twisted. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean it in a, okay, the friend of kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because Marlo low-key is a sidekick as well. She's a friend of the show. Okay, she has been a friend for a very long time, but she's a friend to the show. So she's usually listed as someone's friend, i.e. someone's sidekick. So to me, this post was just funny in the irony. So I want to know in a good chatterization, who is the ultimate sidekick? Okay. We're just having a little fun. Okay. Wait. I thought somebody wrote Tanya. Woo! Ooh, y'all are crazy. I mean, you know, I just feel like Marlo is the OG side chick. Marlo has the seniority. You know what I'm saying? It was just funny to me. It was just so funny. It was the sidekick of it all to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, Marlo, now you're a friend of the show. Now, granted, I want Marlo to be a peach holder because I think Marlo is interesting. I think she has a fascinating life, and I really like her a lot. But, you know, I mean, if you want to be real, you a sidekick too, you know, on the show. You know what I'm saying? A boss in real life, but on the show, still a sidekick. Okay. There's that. Y'all know this was so funny to me. I had to bring it to y'all today. It was cracking me up. Shout out to Good Day DC. We just finished Good Day DC earlier today. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So shout out to our friends over at Good Day DC. Sherry Cherry says, Marlo, we thank you for that super chat. We thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate y'all. Okay. I want to move on to Porsha. Okay. Now, Porsha's a part of that drama simply because, you know, Shamea is taking up for Porsha in this instance, right? As she should. Thank you, Marcella. We love you. We love Marcella here. Thank you so much for that super chat. You are just a joy to me. Did you see I was drinking out the cup you gave me earlier today? I posted it on Instagram. Marcella had given us a bunch of mugs. Let's move on to Porsha. All right. Give me 1 second to pull up this file, y'all. You know we got to talk about it. Why I don't see it now? Here we go. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sherry Lawson. We appreciate you. So I don't know if you guys saw this preview, okay? But if you guys can see it, the title says Porsha Williams will continue to remind Dennis McKinley that they're done for as long as he needs to hear it. Now, in this conversation, the two of them are sitting at a restaurant. And if you watch this clip, it's on BravoTV.com. So be sure to go and check out BravoTV.com because you guys can get all the clips over there. Okay. Get all the clips over there. So, you know, they're having a conversation or whatever. And I think it feels like she is trying to let him know that she is free and he is free to do whatever they please, however they please to do it. And she does not believe any of the attempts that he is trying to make to say that they're still together. Okay. Now, if you watch Bravo's chat room, when they showed this clip actually earlier from the week, they didn't show as much of the clip as we get here. But Porsha does say that he lets her have it in some way, shape, or form. So we ain't get none of that in this clip. But what we did get was her giving him the business that they are done because he had posted that he was single AF. Now, it was likely that he posted that because he did post it after the news had come out about Strippergate. Okay. I don't know how they resolved that. But honestly, he cannot be mad at her for what she allegedly might have done with the stripper, because A, they wasn't really together, and then B, he had already done the cheaterization and had admitted to it all and all that good stuff like that, right? So for me, it's just like, I agree with you, Porsha. Y'all need to be done, okay? Just let the mouse go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, okay? So at the end of it, he's basically trying to tell her, yo, I'm not with nobody else. And she's like, I ain't believing nothing that you got to say about this. You can tell me that you're not with somebody, but is y'all effing, okay? That's what she asked. That's the question on the table. You can say that you ain't with nobody, but is you really effing? Okay? Now, I'm tired of them, okay? I'm really tired of them. But at least he's willing to appear on camera with her. I do appreciate that. And that's not and I'm going to tell you, that's not a knock to Kenya. It's more of a knock to Mark, because, you know, I feel like once you know what you're getting into on a reality TV show, if you know that your significant other is one of the stars of a show, you need to be prepared to come on that show, okay? You can't be mad at the cameras when they want to follow you around and get the footage, okay? You can't be mad at your partner's character on the show, okay? You can't be mad at none of that. Let's take, for instance, and I want to bring up somebody that we all know whose marriage is intact and whose husband does seem to really get her character on the show, even when she might have been the villain at times, is Jackie Christie and Doug Christie. Doug Christie gets it. That's his wife's character on the show. But they, you know, of course, have had a solid marriage for umpteen years, okay? And, you know, Kenya and Mark had only been married for 3 at this point in time, according to her daddy, okay? And according to her. Now, anyway, moving right on along, okay? Now, this next story, we're probably going to have some more to talk about it later, okay? I see y'all joining up in the house. I just want to acknowledge y'all real quick. I see y'all. Okay. We got to talk about Shaunie O'Neal. Let's get into it. Because Shaunie O'Neal is appearing on that good TAMRON HALL show today. Okay. She's going to be on TAMRON HALL and she's talking all the basketball wives tea. Now, what is left to be seen, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you have, comment in the chatterization. Let a brother know. Let the people know if you've seen this already, because, you know, these shows tend to air on different networks at different times all across the country, okay? I tend to have to catch TAMRON HALL when she posts the clips to the YouTube. However, I do want to give a shout out to our people over at The Gossip, because they did get the exclusive clip when it came out, okay? So here's the thing. This was going on with the interview. Let me give you guys what's really going on. So in this interview and in this clip right here, you know, TAMRON asked Shaunie what message she was trying to send by having mostly women who ain't even married but just dated basketball players on the series, okay? All right. So Shaunie responds and she says this: well, you know, honestly, when it first started, it was going to be wives. When I had the idea, I was a basketball wife. That's kind of where it started, but it has evolved into not so much. I will be honest. She says, if you are a wife and you come on this show or do reality TV at all, it opens up Pandora's box. Honestly, people are not nice. So for a successful, flourishing marriage, oh, I lost my place. Give me 1 second. She says, for a successful, flourishing marriage, you have to be really, really strong to join this journey. It's not so much a message that I'm sending. I think it just ended up being the way that it is and how it all works. It's a lot easier for a woman who's been in a relationship with these guys, or maybe just dating, to be on the show than it is. There aren't a lot of Jackie Christies, okay? Jackie Christie this is what she's saying. Jackie Christie is in a successful, long-standing marriage, and Doug supports her on this show, and he participates. It's not a lot of those guys, so it's hard. It's hard to be a wife of a player and do reality TV. That's just my opinion. Okay. So we have that. Now, what I don't know is if she actually addresses any of the color claims or the race claims that the fans have been screaming about all season long and all since the show went off the air last season. That's what I really hope she starts to address in this interview in some way, shape, or form. I'm counting on TAMRON HALL, okay? I am counting on you, TAMRON HALL, to ask the questions, okay? That's what I'm counting on. And what I want to know from you is, do you guys agree with this? Do you guys feel like, you know, basketball wives or I guess women who are married to wives now, do you think that there's a certain stigma with doing this show or this type of show? Or do you think that if it was on a different network, that it might be more, that people might want to jump on it more? I don't know. What do you guys think it is? Is it the network? Is it the type of content? Is it the stigma that goes along with the show? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below, because it's interesting to me. You know, there aren't a lot of Jackie Christies out there, you know, and unfortunately, on a lot of these shows, the relationships don't really last. But what I will say is that those are the things and the dynamics that make a lot of these shows interesting. We don't really get a lot of Jackie with Doug on the show. We get a lot more of Jackie mixing it up with the ladies. So it's interesting to me, you know. Levon says it's the content. Jada B says it always seems like relationships fail after reality shows. She says, Shannon says marriages will be challenged and homes may become unhappy. Cutie1 says, with Shaunie as a producer, it's a bad look. Toya Taylor, we want to say thank you for the super chat. We want to send you love for that. Says, I find it weird that Shaunie still has not had a sit down with OG. If she has an EP, why not make the effort to sit down and talk to OG? Yeah, we're still trying to get, listen, I'm still pushing for that myself. You know, just, we can easily solve some problems, you know. The truth says it is the network and the content. Let Love Rain says it paints a picture. All these women are interested in drama related to their relationships, and the women use it against each other. Okay. Andrew says the show is over. It needs to be canceled. Theo says, I don't think that Basketball Wives has the same promo opportunities as Real Housewives does. The Real Housewives, especially Beverly Hills, is a great platform to start a business brand. I agree with you on that. It's funny to me, you know, and I guess I just asked that question because I feel like sometimes, you know, we get a lot of, I think there's a lot of stigma that goes with the VH1 shows that sometimes they kind of have in the past promoted a lot more, you know, like seemingly like they rewarded the hitting and the throwing the glasses and stuff like that, because there was never any consequence for any of the women or any of the men initially. Do y'all remember that whole interesting. What else? What I was kind of wondering too, like if it was Bravo, would it be more, would the women and the men maybe want it more, or I don't know. You guys remember when that season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when Jocelyn and Stevie J got into it with everybody and it just turned into total chaos? I think that was the first time that we really started to see that there were consequences for that type of action on reality TV. Thank you, Angela, first for the super chat. Angela says, reality TV in general is dying. There needs to be a new approach to all these shows to revive that genre. They all follow the same formula. You know, I do want to address that, because I do think that there is something to be said for a specific type of reality TV show that is kind of going by the wayside. And I do think that is the we need a villain type character, you know, who pushes the narrative and makes the story go round, because it has become so transparent, you know, and it has become like, you know, they've tried it with Teresa. They're trying it with Teresa on New Jersey, and quiet as is kept, they're actually looking for new housewives in New Jersey already. Okay. And the season just started. They've already put out the casting notice from what I've seen. Okay. So that's already out there. So that tells you that they're trying to move away from what we're actually seeing right now. And that would be the smartest way to go. But it's going to be some casting developments there. But I do want to tell y'all, 2 other shows that I'm interested in, but I don't really review on this channel. Selling Sunset has been renewed for seasons 4 and 5 on Netflix. Okay, 4 and 5 have been renewed, right? And there's drama there, but there's really luxury real estate that I think is at the core of that show. And again, I take it back down to I always go back to Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville. These shows show African-American men and women, couples and marriages in prominent positions in the community, and the struggles that they're going through, not just the drama. What we get with Carlos, and you will see this, guys, when I did an interview with in partnership with Suave Magazine, and I did an interview with Latrice from Bell Collective. That should be coming out next week. And as you guys will see, you know, Carlos King does an amazing job of highlighting what the women actually do, what the people on the cast actually do. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing. So when I look at, you know, Love and Marriage Huntsville, I look at Bell Collective, and then I look at what's happening on Netflix with Selling Sunset being renewed for seasons 4 and 5 in the middle of a pandemic. Okay. And then you got season 2 of Bling Empire that has been renewed as well. So that's coming too. That tells me that yes, there is a new emerging way for reality TV to sort of begin to make its way through the masses. And I feel like we really need to lean into that when it comes to Housewives and Basketball Wives. Willie says, thank you for keeping me informed. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. And I see a lot of you. Yes, a lot of you love Bling Empire. I'm seeing it. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know, it'll be interesting to me to see whether or not we get a reunion for Bell Collective. I'm interested in seeing that. I do believe that they're renewed for season 2. I need to follow up on that, but I think that they already are renewed for season 2. But I'll give you guys more on that as I am. Yes, India says we want the luxury, not something that we can see in our own backyard. We want to see some aspiration, some aspirational living, so that when we look at these shows, we can see ourselves in, you know, doing these things. We see other people doing it. We tell ourselves that we can do it too. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want, you know. I was never interested in real estate, honestly, really like that until I started watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, to be quite honest with you. So for me, Bling Empire is on Netflix. I'm not sure go to Netflix right now and you can see it. PJ Teach says they do have a reunion date. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. Oh, QT1 says, did you see Apollo and Peter are house flippers now? I will watch them on a show. I did see that. I saw them talking about it. And let me tell you, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love seeing, you know, first of all, I'm uniquely interested. And so let me give you guys another little announcement. I am uniquely interested in seeing what reality TV stars do to maintain their businesses, to maintain their, you know, lifestyle beyond the reality show before they got on the reality show. So the Unfiltered channel, just to give you guys, I'll tell you the partner later, but I'm starting a new podcast where I'm interviewing people who have been in the reality space, are in it right now, and who go on to do other amazing things. And I want to talk about what they're doing and how they made it work. I want to get all of that information as well as some tea from the shows as well. So that podcast will be coming out very, very soon. I will announce the partner that I'm working with as well very, very soon, but I'm really, really excited about it. So to get back to this, I'm super excited about this. I think this is amazing. And I hope that what Peter and Apollo do is, I hope that they chronicle the journey. You know, I would love to see that in a show. I wouldn't mind seeing, because listen, Peter gonna give you some drama and Apollo gonna give you some drama too, okay? And then if we add Shireen in there, you know, the Apollo's new woman, you know what I'm saying? Can we get a look at who, you know, Peter's now with or whatever like that, and then see how they all work together? That would be a phenomenal show as well, okay? Carlos, okay, if you hear me, just saying, just a thought. I would watch it. I would watch it. I would watch it. I'm telling you, that would be some good stuff right there, because Peter Thomas is entertaining, okay? And he's a hustler. I like a hustler. I like anybody with a hustle mentality. And obviously Apollo's a hustler too, okay? And I think that now he's doing it the right way. And I feel like, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Let me tell y'all something. I know so many people who have, you know, gone to jail or prison and come out, and they took that hustle mentality from before they went in, and they apply it in the right way. Those are the people that be unstoppable. Do not count people out. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this right here is exciting. I'm excited about it. And it's two brothers too. Like, to me, you can't do nothing but root for that. Yeah, Married to Medicine stands out amongst these shows. The husband is as much a part of the show as the ladies. Huge difference, which makes their show more real and authentic. I 100% agree with this, because the men can be, even if you watch Jersey, Real Housewives of New Jersey, the men are a lot more focused and featured in the show, and you get more drama out of those men. And listen, men can be just as dramatic, just as messy, but also contribute equally to the storylines as well, in support of the wives that may be featured, you know, on the show. Okay. Which is why I've always been a fan of Married to Medicine and reviewing Married to Medicine, because I'm uniquely interested in watching how marriages thrive and function, you know what I'm saying? Specifically in a reality TV show space, especially when they're positive. Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give y'all somebody out there is going to be genius enough to do this, but there aren't a lot of shows out there where you see, you know, African Americans flipping houses. You see all of these other types of shows like that, but you don't get that. Why? Why is that? Yep. I want to see greatness and positivity mixed in with some drama here and there. And see, I think what happened was, somewhere along the way, maybe the networks or some of the production companies started to feel like they needed the low down dirty drama to make the headlines, you know what I'm saying, in order to make the show good. And sometimes you don't need all that for a show to be exciting, okay? You don't need all of that. You can still have your moments of drama and conflict that come naturally from these groups of people who get together. But we want to see luxury. We want to see glamour, excitement, people doing things that we always wanted to do. That's why people love the cast trips so much. We want to see these exotic places. You know, those be the episodes where the most drama actually happens anyway. because that's what, I mean, it's popping, you know? Ooh. EA says there was one based in Houston on HGTV. Hosts used to be married, but now are divorced. Do we know if Tanya is going to attend the reunion? And if I had to get rid of one housewife, who would it be and why? Do I know if Tanya's attending the reunion? She was not listed in Andy's tweet about the reunion, so I would assume she has not. She will not. Also, she has not chosen to film anymore, so I would assume that they're not going to give her the opportunity to speak at the reunion either. If I had to get rid of one housewife, I'm assuming it would be from Atlanta. Who would it be and why? You know, I'm no longer going to say who I would. I don't know. It's hard to say because, you know, I think in the past, I will give you guys my honest answer to this. In the past, I would have been like, oh my God, Cynthia needs to go. She's had a full arc on this show. She doesn't bring the drama like the rest of the ladies and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Cut. And then Q to me interviewing her, okay, the other week. And I had to literally eat my words. And I told her, I said, I have been guilty of thinking that the housewives, of really liking my housewives to bring chaos and confusion. And I still do. But I also recognize that there is sometimes value in the housewife who is just purely themselves, brings them to the table. And if you watch that interview, you can see Cynthia Bailey is probably one of the easiest people to work with. And that probably comes from all of her work in the industry. As such, it's easy for me now to understand why the network would keep her around, because that's what people want. They want people who are easy to work with as well. Okay, so, and she provides kind of a balance and heart for the group that I feel like they sometimes need. So it's interesting. I don't really know who I would get rid of, but I would definitely bring on Fallon because I feel like she would up the ante on the glamour part of it. Yeah. Yep. Fallon. Lit. Just looking at your comment. And that was the other thing. I have never laughed so much in an interview until I interviewed Cynthia Bailey. And I've done a lot of interviews. But that was probably one of the, I mean, she's just naturally funny. And even this season, I think she's probably even been more fun, more hilarious because I feel like she's embracing her inner auntie. You know what I'm saying? Do I think that Quad deserved to be demoted? Well, I understand. I think it's kind of, if she was demoted simply because she's not married, I think that that's wrong. If she was demoted because she wasn't providing enough content and didn't want to allow the cameras into her life in a way that the rest of the cast felt was fair, then I feel like yes. Because if you're not going to be or give as much as the rest of the ladies, then you probably don't deserve the same paycheck that the rest of them are getting. However, I do feel like Quad is an integral part and piece of the puzzle in that show. And without her in this first episode, I did feel like there was something missing. There was a certain energy that Quad brings to the show that is undeniable. And so I would have to say, I would like her around a lot more. And hopefully we begin to see her sooner than later. Looking for any more questions. I'm looking for questions that you guys might have had. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I wish that Mariah and Quad could have found a way to make it work. Levon says Quad is a Taurus and we don't like sharing things about our private lives too often. That's fair. Do you think Andy will ever address the Nene stuff? No, not in a way that I feel like would be satisfactory for audiences. And I think if I was his PR person, I would tell him to not do that either, because it probably would not benefit him to really go deep into that. But I feel like I would love to know the real deal on what went down with them. Mr. Them says, how do you feel about the new girls on Basketball Wives? I'm reserving judgment on them until I get to this episode next week, because I mean, I like that they brought out, a more vulnerable side of OG, because I felt like we needed that. But now I'm like, was there some type of setup type situation going on? Like, I don't know. I got to figure that out. Once I figure that out, and I would love to speak with one of them, if not both. So, we'll see. Did I see Sharon Osbourne's meltdown Wednesday on The Talk? I saw like a little snippet of it on Instagram, and I need to go watch the full clip because I didn't like the way she was talking to Cheryl. I don't know what was said. I just ain't like the way she was talking to Auntie Cheryl. That's what I do know. Okay. So once I watch the full clip, I'll probably have a better opinion about it. EHC Bunny. Let me tell y'all, can I give you a compliment, EHC Bunny? And something I love you for. We don't always agree on the same things, but I appreciate you in the way that you are able to articulate things that you disagree with, and we can all still keep it pushing. So thank you for being that type of person. I like that. The question is, what Nene stuff? I'm assuming the stuff with her suing the Bravo. I think that's what they're talking about. Did the lawyers drop the case? I don't know. I don't know if that ever went to lawsuit. I don't know how far that got. So I don't know if that's really a thing or not. I know that it was Mariah who had filed complaints, but I don't know where that went. What is the release date for the Real Housewives All-Star show? I don't know that, but what I do know is I felt like from what I got from Cynthia that she's going to be on it, because she didn't really answer the questions about it. She kind of danced around it. So in my mind, I was like, "Oh, girl, you own it." But I don't know. I know that it's going to film after the Atlanta reunion films. So that should be filming in the next 2 weeks or something like that. But I've heard that it will film after that and sometime in early April. So that seems to gel with the time. Nikki T says, I thought Nene had other projects and she's still opening her restaurants. Yes, she is going to be, she has the Lanithia Lounge. I'm sure she has a ton of investments. So I think she probably still has a lot of other businesses going on, because she does talk a lot about being a serial entrepreneur, which is something I love about her. So I'm assuming she's kind of busy with those things maybe. And now I'm happy for her with that. Am I watching T.S. Madison's show? I have not watched the first 2 episodes, but I will be binge watching them today after I get done with this so that I can catch up, because I want to support T.S. Do I plan to interview Dr. Heavenly to discuss season 8? Yes, I would like to do that. Why do you think Lisa Nicole was brought back to Married to Medicine? I think that there was probably... you're down 2 recognizable faces with Quad and Mariah. And so in my mind, I kind of feel like it made sense to bring back some people because, both Quad and Mariah are not doctors. So you have a show now where the majority of the women are doctors in some way, shape, or form, doctors or dentists. And so you kind of needed to bring in some extra ladies to balance it out with the doctors' wives. So it made sense to kind of bring in some people from the past. If they're going to bring something new and good to the show, I'm here for that. Looking for some more questions. It is on the Suave magazine page. I will put it. So at the end of every video, it's still of my videos. It's still listed as one of those 3 videos that you can click on. So it's still up there. Who would you interview first from Real Housewives of Potomac when season 6 airs? I probably would love to interview Karen again. I find Karen to be interesting. I really want to interview people that I find fascinating or interesting, or maybe their perspective is not as clear as it could be when we see it on the show. So that's kind of what drives me to interview certain people, because I just have a burning desire to talk to them. And given that we've spoken with her before, I know what she's going to give, and I know that it would be good. Do I feel like Porsha Williams is leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta? I don't know, honestly, but I could understand if she did want to leave, because I always feel like you should leave a party before the lights come on. Y'all know what I'm saying? I don't ever like to stay at a party or a club until the lights come on. I just feel like you want to leave at the height of the game, at the height of the party, get on out then, make the people, leave the people wanting a little bit more of you, you know what I'm saying? And get on out the door, okay? When the lights come on and you can see what everybody look like, Okay. How do I feel about the new girl on Married to Medicine? So far, so good. I mean, listen, I feel like she came in there. We don't even know who she is. Yes, she's real involved. That's what we need in our new people. So I'm like, okay, well, girl, let's get it. Let's do it. It did come across as a little team too much in the business. Like, girl, you don't even know these people yet. But she was probably filming a bit before we even saw her. So she might have already met these ladies and has opinions about them as well. Any updates on Jen from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. She's been a little bit quiet on social media. I'm trying to look in. Trying to make sure I didn't. Off topic, did you hear about Wendy Asefo addressing the rumors about the donor list and how she got on the show? Love you, Richie. Thank you so much, Katie Claps. I need to go back and check in with Monica on that. You guys know that Monica's my girl, all about the tea. So I got to go back in and get the tea on that, because that whole situation was intense. Okay, it was intense. I'm scrolling down. Did I see Kenya Moore speak on it with Kenya Moore on Speak on It? Yes. What did I think about her comment about Drew being like Porsha? I don't know. I think that Kenya just doesn't like Drew or Porsha. That's just me. I think it's Janaki says, do you think Porsha Strippergate will affect her Black Lives Matter movement? No. You think that Shamea going so hard for Porsha is a recipe for disaster? No, because that's her friend. That's what I would do. I'm like a ride or die friend like that. If I feel like my friend is under attack, then I got my friend's back. I'm not, and I'm gonna say I would do exactly what Shamea is doing. So for me, I feel like that's how I roll. So no. Mm-mm. Do you think that Porsha is being the new Nene, thinking that she's the whole show? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Do you have an opinion on the possible new Real Housewives of Potomac? More on this story later. Ow, yes. Don't it keep that water cold? Don't it keep it cold? And it's crazy too. It's like, how does this work? Do I think that Jen Shah will get fired? No. Mm-mm. Do I think Phaedra should return? It would be nice to see her return, like, at some point, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Let me see if how would I feel about a Monique and Porsha spinoff? Oh, I think it could be cool if they do like a vacation or something like that. When do you think Real Housewives season 6 will air? Probably in August, September, if not later. Probably the same time it did this past year. Do I think Marlo will ever get a peach? Probably not. The reason I say that now is because they've been doing it. We've been having her on this many seasons, and she hasn't gotten one yet. And I feel like maybe production feels like, well, we can get the same amount of content from her for half the price. So why would we do that? And quite honestly, I feel like she is probably happy with the amount of coin that she's getting, because I'm hearing that she's very well paid. So for me, I just kind of feel like if it works, keep it going. I think that Claudia Jordan should join Dallas. I would love to see that. I would love to see it. That show just to me needs a shakeup anyway. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to scroll through the questions. What do you think Porsha said that the producers didn't show that Kenya and Kandi spoke about on Speak On It about Kandi hosting a BLM movement event for the ladies? I don't know. What I was thinking it could be was maybe something like, and this is alleged, but it's just in my mind. I'm thinking she might have maybe gotten wind of something that, Kandi was trying to do. And maybe she thought it was going to conflict with something that she was trying to do, that maybe was, because what I think a lot of people don't know is this, and I'm gonna give y'all some tea right now, okay? Now, this happens with a lot of housewives, I feel like, on a lot of different franchises. A lot of times some ladies will come to production with and this is any show, will come to production with their own ideas of things to do, okay? And really, you want to keep that a secret, because if you tell another wife what you're doing, then you run the risk of that wife going back and telling production before you tell them, and then that wife ends up with the event and you don't end up with an event. And so when you're on these shows, you want to have your own events that you want to put out there, but you want them to be, and these are your ideas. So if somebody else, let's say I whisper my event over here to Susan, okay, but before I tell production, but Susan is like, ooh, that does sound like a good idea. Let me go do it. And then next thing you know, Susan is having the event, and you're like, now wait a minute, that was something I was doing. So I think it could have been something like that. I don't know. When are you going to sell Sky Squad hoodies? Very, very soon. I'm working on that. Working on it. Okay. Let me see what else. Do you think Porsha's BLM movement is a storyline and she's not really in it? I do think I think it is a storyline, but I think that it is a storyline because she's actively really working in it and people wanted to really highlight it. So I do think it was genuine. And I think that, you know, she's following in her grandfather's footsteps. And I'm sure there was some desire for her to do that. But I think when we saw what was going on, everybody felt kind of moved to do things in their own way. And I feel like her way was a lot more public because she is a public figure. What do I think of these two? It's unfortunate, you know, what's going on. I think I got to wait and see what happens because I'm following this story like, bro, like this is crazy. Uh-oh, we got a super chat. Nita Lynn Frazier, thank you for the super chat. First things first. Monica reported last night everything Karen said about not knowing Wendy is true. And Wendy allegedly lied to get on the show and waited months to speak up on it. Love you, handsome. Thank you so much for that super chat, Scott Squad. For life, we love you over here, Nita Lynn. Thank you for the super chat, Liz. You late, but you made it. Listen, you ain't never late around here. You're always on time, okay? Always. We love you. Do I think Basketball Wives should be canceled? I think it should be revamped. I think it could be revamped and yeah, some modifications need to be made and some issues need to be addressed. If you start addressing the issues, listen, honestly, you could change the narrative and the conversation, and you can also, you know, make it a teachable moment for not only the group, but also, you know, the people who are watching. And I think people right now will really respect that a lot more. And I think that some people will always just never like Shaunie, or they will never like Evelyn, or they may never like OG. But at the end of the day, you know, I think if they all came together and the conversation was led by Shaunie, man, that could be a growth moment right there. Would I ever interview Giselle? I already have. No, but when I did interview her, Giselle used to be my favorite housewife ever, honestly. Like I was if you watch my show, I mean, you would see it in my intro. She's the first voice you would hear in the intro from my videos, and still is. So the reason why I haven't cut it out on this version is because I'm using StreamYard. When I'm doing my videos, I'm taking a cut of it from my phone. So that's the reason why. But I'm gonna update it on StreamYard. But she used to be my favorite, and I still like her on the show. Don't get me wrong. I think she's a beautiful woman, but you know, I just find her, and I think she actually does very good on Bravo chat room. I just, you know, kind of understanding some things that have kind of gone on over the past couple of seasons and years. I just don't really like some of the stuff that I've heard. So that's that. Let me see. I'll take a couple more questions. I like answering these questions. Y'all are fun. I think pregnancies on the do you think they will write Kandi's pregnancy in the show because she's showing pretty good? I think that was just for a role on The Chi. I don't think that was actually real. That could be interesting. Let me see. Do you think there will be a ratings drop off for Potomac? No, I think that there is still life there. I think there's still some stories to tell. And you have enough people on that show that are controversial enough that I feel like people will still be talking about them. You know, whether people like, you know, Candace or not, Candace does make headlines, and she's gotten in that place mostly due to, I mean, she was in that place before the altercation, but, you know, I do have to, I would never take anything away from those ladies because I think they are a dynamic group of ladies and they provide a different perspective that, you know, maybe Atlanta doesn't, Beverly Hills doesn't, New Jersey doesn't. and they're rooted in the DMV, you know, whether they're in Potomac or not. I feel like they still, you know, have stories to tell. And I feel like that's the most important thing, that you have women and men on these shows with actual stories to tell. Some of them have more story than others. But I ain't calling no names. But and as long as they, and I feel like what Potomac has gotten right is that each season they've added in one new person. And that one person has made the difference and has been so impactful. So I feel like if they keep doing that and getting that casting right, then it'll continue to be a winner. Do you think that Kandi and Cynthia should be replaced? They've been on too long. Well, what I will say is that I feel like every show needs an anchor. And I feel like they need a show with an anchor that has been on there for a very long time. The anchor just still also has to make sure that they're doing something, that they're adding value to the show. That's what I will say. Should there be an expansion in Chicago or Boston? So the tea that I've heard is that they tried Chicago, but they've never gotten the right mix of ladies. In Boston, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think what they're trying to do now is they're focusing right now on Miami because that's going to be on Peacock. And I think that they're also going to continue to look at smaller cities that maybe we don't know are really fabulous places versus these larger cities, you know, that people might find overrated, you know. Thank you. I appreciate that. What do I think about Wendy Williams wanting to join Housewives of Miami? Well, I would love to see it. Y'all know I love me some Wendy Williams, although I do have some issues with some things that she says and does at times. It's interesting to me because I feel like, you know, and I said this before, she couldn't be bothered with a FaceTime from Nene. And she felt like, you know, she would be slumming it on the Housewives of Atlanta, but suddenly there's a lot of interest to be on the Housewives of Miami because of Larsa Pippen. I just found that odd. That's just me. Do you think that Porsha gets special treatment when it comes to accountability and editing? I think that networks and production companies have to be careful about I think that they would like to protect certain investments. And I think that what happens when that occurs is that certain investments get more protection than others, if that makes any sense. So it could be that she gets special treatment. You know, that could be true as well. Because if they're putting you on all these different shows, they obviously don't want you to view this person as that bad. Houston has production houses and plenty of divas. Why do you think we don't have a reality show yet? You know, I don't know. I know that they were trying to do a Love and Hip Hop Houston, but that didn't come to fruition. And so I don't know. And you know what's crazy is I've never been to Houston, but I want to go because, you know, Destiny's Child and the food. Okay. And I just want to go. I think I've heard great things about it. What happened to Ballers Wives? I don't know, honestly. And that show was lit. Wicked548 says, I still like Shaunie and Ev, and I like OG. I can say I don't like the way they are treating OG. I like that as well. I like that statement as well. Nita Lynn says, who are the Dorseys? Why is it that people can't accept that Porsha's is about fighting for what is right and how our Black men and women are being? I'm proud of how mature she has grown. Me too. when I interviewed Drew Sidora. Yes, I love Drew and the wigs, and the marriage is interesting. I don't know. It's just so much. It's so much there. Not only that, though, I'm uniquely interested in Drew's history as an actress because I just think that it's so nice to see that she's been able to maneuver through the entertainment industry and continue to work and evolve and take this leap into reality TV and then embrace it. Because I feel like she is embracing it right now. Y'all watch Married at First Sight? I don't. I would love to add another show, but I just be feeling like I can't. I can't add another show, man. What do I think of Jackie in New Jersey? Are you watching Real Housewives of New Jersey? This is my thought about Jackie. I think that Jackie was arguing with Teresa, who she could not reason with, and made an analogy that was probably not the best analogy to make, because I hate that, a child was mentioned. Now, the other side of that is what Teresa did to Jackie was horrible and heinous and evil. Okay. And I think that she did it to secure herself, obviously storyline, continue to cause chaos. I feel like she felt like she needed to do something to up the ante so that there's, stuff going on in Jersey. And I think that the ladies all know that there are going to be some casting changes made for the next season. With that being said, I don't like watching Jersey because I don't like the ladies tiptoeing around Teresa and acting like she's the boss of everything when there's really no need for them to be afraid of her. That's what I think. I haven't heard much about this yet, but what you will notice is now when Married to Medicine lists Married to Medicine out, they list it as Married to Medicine Atlanta. It hasn't been updated as much on the Bravo site when you're looking at shows, but when I see it posted in other places, I will see Married to Medicine Atlanta. So clearly they want to make a distinction that this is a franchise. And we know that LA is not coming back. So it would stand to reason that DMV will be coming up soon, but I haven't heard anything about it. Do you think that Kenya is jealous of the attention she gets from the people that she's attracted to? Glenn, Bolo, and Latoya. I mean, she kind of said that she was a little jealous of the attention that Latoya was giving Porsha. Sometimes it comes across like jealousy. I don't know if it really is. I just think that Kenya likes to stir the pot. That's really what I think. Yeah, I think she likes to stir the pot and keep the stuff exciting. But I don't know that it has as much. I don't think it has that much to do with jealousy. I also think that too. I mean, she's spending a lot of time, trying to, raise a daughter, and so I think that more of her energy is probably focused on that than jealousy. And when she comes to work, I think she's doing her job. Do you have any updates on the current situation between Mariah and Married to Medicine and Bravo, please? No, I don't have any update on that. I want to find out more. Do I think that Bravo should bring back Southern Charm New Orleans? Yes, I do. I really wish they would, because it was a show that had a group of mixed. I mean, it was like it was white people, black people. That's what we need to see on our screens. Do you think that OG is becoming a victim of bad editing on Basketball Wives? It's interesting. I'm going to wait and tell you. I'm going to kind of wait and answer that question this coming week, because I feel like some stuff will be revealed. I do think that editing does play a part in how we see her, but I also think it is also I think there is some misinterpretation of how she responds to things. But I also think that there is her being a little bit extra defensive with the ladies because she feels like she has to be on guard at all times. And I also think that there may be something to do with the fact that she used to play a sport like football, right? So I think that maybe the way she speaks and acts is probably more from, she coming from that type of sport, that type of arena where she got to be tough. She's got to be on guard. So there could be a little bit of that as well. I don't know, but I'm trying to. I would like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I also know that production can pull a whammy on you. Okay. But I also know that, at certain times she does come across as extra defensive, but maybe she feels like she has to be. I don't know. Do you think Bravo is lacking diversity, not only race-based taking? I don't know. I would hesitate to say that they're lacking diversity because I felt like they put a lot of when I was on Stripped, I felt like they, again, I can only tell you my experience, and it was nothing but positive. And I felt like just me being a Black man with, who is 6 feet tall with tattoos all over his body and piercings and stuff like that. I felt like they really leaned into my story and they told it with great care. And I have to say, I'm eternally grateful for that. Do I think that there's an opportunity there to have more diversity? Yes, I do. I think it's an opportunity. Let's see if I see any more questions. I love you guys. Questions, yes. Oh. Let me see if I see anything else that I might have missed. I appreciate y'all. Do you think Kenya goes after any woman she considers competition? I don't know. What I gather is that Kenya is putting on for the show, and if she feels as though you might be coming for her in any way, shape, or form, she's going to come at you harder than you could ever have gone after her. That's what I think. Okay, thank you, Fios. Okay. Now that we got this Fios, y'all, I can sit here and I can really talk to y'all. Y'all can see me and y'all can hear me. I can, whew, I missed y'all. Oh, thank you. I would love to interview OG because I think that it's all about hearing her experience. And, I do know that Storm did an amazing interview with her. And so we have that to love and appreciate, right now. Camille says, do you miss Nene on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta? Did you think that Eva was good for the show? Unpopular opinion, I do. Well, I think that maybe if Eva, I think that because of life circumstances, meaning that Eva was, pregnant for quite some time on the show, I think that might have impacted her ability to really do as much as maybe she would have wanted to. And then I think that by the time she had the baby, I felt like maybe she was just kind of over it and ready to move on to other things. And quite frankly, I think she seems happier in her space on radio and doing that type of correspondence work and, just being in that space and being able to kind of manage her life a little bit more independently and away from cameras. But do I miss Nene on the season? I do, actually. I don't know. I think that things would have definitely panned out in a different direction if she was there. But, I mean, obviously it didn't work, Let me see. Let's see if I see any more questions that I can answer. So they're on WeTV, and I think that would be a good thing to do. Have I interviewed Eva, or would I? I have not, but I would. Listen, and she, you know, she might be able to. She might say, "Listen, I heard what you said about me," and I would be like, "Yeah, girl, I'm sorry," you know. and then hopefully it will be all love. Yes, she is. Oh, would I interview OG? Yes, Eva's great on radio. Yep. Ooh, perfect Real Housewives of Atlanta cast. Okay. I'm gonna give y'all my perfect cast. And I'm gonna include some people that y'all probably wouldn't have even thought of. So I'm gonna say Porsha. I'm gonna say Nene. I'm gonna say Kenya, Claudia, I'm gonna say Phaedra, I'm gonna say Fallon, and I'm gonna throw y'all a wild card. I don't even know where she based at right now. Omarosa. Now y'all tell me that season wouldn't be lit. Y'all tell me that season would not be lit. Okay, top to bottom, there would be no dry episode that season. I'm talking 21 episodes, y'all. I'm talking 21 episodes of insanity right there, okay? Can you imagine? Because all of these women are like outspoken, right? They are outspoken. They are tough. They don't back down. You know what I'm saying? That would be, I'm telling you, now that would be, you get Phaedra and her comedy and her shade. You get the funness with Porsha. Will her and Phaedra be able to reconcile and like really, I mean, I know they cool, but will they be able to come back like the freaking fact that we used to have? You know, how would Nene fit into that mix with them as well? Then you would have Kenya and Claudia dynamic back as well. So she got her buddy right there. Then you throw in Fallon and her fabulous new light, her life and her new, you know, that new fresh energy. Then you got Omarosa up in there who ain't taking no smack from anybody, whether she wrong or whether she right. Okay. So to me, that's the cast right there. Okay. That's the cast. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need right there. Case closed. Y'all talking about a season. Now that cast could probably carry us for 3 or 4 straight seasons without changing. And then can you imagine the reunions? Can you imagine the reunions? Come on now. Come on. That would be some stuff right there. Needlin says, I think Bravo play down aggressive. Got the Housewives. Don't forget to add TAMRON to that mix. You know, telling you. Y'all see it. Right, who would be the peacemaker? It's a good cast, yo. I'm telling you. It would be so good. And then the great thing about it is you have Porsha who will be able to comment on it, you know, via Dish Nation. You have Claudia who will be able to kind of comment on it, you know, via Fox. So you got like, this will create, I'm telling y'all talking headlines. Bravo, send that money to these ladies and get this thing done right now. Okay. That's what I think. Do I think that Jennifer or Malaysia's from Basketball Wives would be a good fit on ATL Housewives? Not really. I think that Malaysia is so basketball, like just in the branding, you just tend to think of Malaysia being on Basketball Wives. Jen, I can see her making an appearance as Nene's friends because you know they're friends or whatever. So that would be good. That would be good. All right, y'all. Listen, I need to go find myself some lunch. Thank y'all for chatting with me. I appreciate y'all. I really, really appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate all of y'all. Listen, this weekend, y'all stay safe out there. Y'all be good. What are my thoughts on Real World Homecoming coming back? I need to watch that because I love me some Real World. I love me some. Woo! Love it. Omarosa on Real Housewives of Potomac would be perfect person to put Giselle in her place once and for all. Now that would be juicy too. Okay, that would be real lit. Okay, that would be lit too, yo. Okay. Come on, Yolanda. We got Yolanda is a travel agent, y'all. So Yolanda, okay, we're gonna get you some. We're gonna throw some business your way. Yolanda says I'll get you the best discount. Hey, let me get up on this thing. All right, y'all. Listen, y'all stay safe. I love y'all. We'll do this again. Y'all, of course, y'all know I'm gonna be going live more often, but you know, just want to let y'all know we up in here. We up in here now, y'all. Anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button, follow us on Facebook, y'all. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to this channel, and then also follow me on Instagram and on and join the Texan community as well, so that we can keep growing that community as well. I will catch you guys later.